In this video, I will be going over my assignment for the qualitative biomechanical analysis number 2. I did coordination number 5 with me and my girlfriend. Here you see me, and then this is my girlfriend doing the movement, which she learned 20 minutes before this, and she got it down pretty quick. So the purpose of this video is to analyze the difference between my girlfriend doing this coordination number 5 and me. I did this movement for a couple weeks, and she did it for about 20 minutes. We will look at the difference in joint angles, the hip, the knee, and the ankle, and then we'll start to look at how well we both did the movements and see the example we were given in class and compare it to that and see if either one of us did it better than the other. So in this first picture, we have my prep phase where I'm starting the movement with my left leg. We have my hip angle is 178 degrees, my knee angle is 159.2 degrees, and my ankle joint angle is 112.4. So here we have the first part of the movement where my leg is going up into a flexed position, making my knee angle 65.6 degrees. We have my hip angle at 73.5 degrees, and then my ankle is about 115.5 degrees. Next, we're moving on to where my leg is going down after rotating externally, and my leg is coming back up to a flex position where both my hip and knee are both flexed. Hip is at 62.4, my knee is at 46.5, and now my ankle is a little dorsiflexed at 103.8 degrees. In this last position, my leg comes back down and is now extended, where my hip joint is at 167.3 and my knee is now at 135.7, both extended. And then my ankle is at a little bit of plantar flexion at about 118.9 degrees. Next, we're going on to my girlfriend, where you can see we're starting in the same position. Her leg will be in a flexed kind of preparatory phase to go into that flexed position when she comes up. Her hip angle is almost fully extended at 176.4 degrees. Her knee is pretty extended at 150.1, and her ankle is at 89.2, which is pretty dorsiflexed. Next, you'll see her coming up into the flex position, the first drive phase, where her hip angle is 88 degrees, her knee angle is 45.9, which are both pretty flexed, and then you get down to her ankle, which is a little more plantar flex at 95.5 now. Next, we're at the second drive phase, where her knee and hip are both flexed. Knee is at 62.2 degrees, her hip is at 81, and her ankle is now at 103.8, which is more plantar flexed. And finally, we are at the last extension phase, where you can see that her knee is now pretty much fully extended along with her hip, and her ankle is now going through some dorsiflexion. When looking at the video of my girlfriend, you can see that she uses more knee flexion and a little less hip flexion, whereas if you look back at my video, it is more hip flexion compared to knee flexion, and then the plantar or dorsiflexion of the ankle doesn't seem to be as big of a deal, but my ankle seems to be more relaxed and a little bit more plantar flexed, where hers seems to kind of flex up and get into more of a dorsiflex position. And then we look over to the expert, or somebody who is a runner and has done this quite a bit before, and it seems like they use a lot more hip flexion, and their knee is actually not as flexed as either me or Kiana, my girlfriend. And then their foot seems to be pretty relaxed and doesn't really seem to go into too much dorsiflexion. So you can look at my first drive phase and see that I really get that hip flexion, which seems like the runners really focused on, and I had less knee flexion, which is also something they seem to do. Looking at Kiana's first drive phase, you can see that her hip flexion isn't the best and that her knee flexion is a lot. So two things to look at that you can see pretty easily. In my second drive phase, I got a little bit more hip flexion, which is good, but then the knee flexion was a little too much, which can be negative when looking at the expert. And then you can see that Kiana actually got a little bit more hip flexion, and her knee flexion got better and was less, meaning that her second drive phase was a lot better. But overall, my drive phases were closer to the experts, so I can conclude that my skill with this coordination is better than my girlfriend's.